Well, it's been a while since I have done some London Monarchs franchise, but here we are. What is up, guys? It is me, Rahul, here, bringing you guys some more NHL 19 expansion franchise featuring the London Monarchs. Now, you might be thinking, this is very old footage of Season 2, and you would be correct. It is old footage of Season 2. I will actually moved on to Season 3 for any spoiler, as a disclaimer, because I was just putting out, like I said, putting out so much content to the point where I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to take a break, I'm gonna have to relax. Obviously, that hasn't worked out, but yeah, and I obviously, as you could tell, I was checking out like new camera angles, I guess if you would call it that. Like I still use this camera angle, but I actually found out like you're gonna see like some later videos. So we're currently tied and right there, like um yep, we're doing that. Like I don't even remember like because the last time I ever uploaded like a London Monarchs video was so long that a lot of my fan base, like most of my fan base, loves the series. Like they absolutely dread this series, and let's let's just be honest. Um, let's just think about this series for a moment. I've been doing NHL NHL 19 for like ever since 2019, and it's gonna be 2021, and I've been doing heaps of franchise content since then, and I'm willing to, well, I'm not gonna be rude, but I'm willing to move on. And since the announcement of like an NHL 20 of alumni teams, and then the announcement in NHL 21 of a trade deadline, I might as well think that in NHL 21, if I ever get it, that I, myself, Rahul, succeed. We score a goal with uh Jeff, no, Kyle Connor. Oh my God, Kyle Connor. Yeah, I got that one right. But anyway, um, I did sign like a. I think like okay. Let me just give you some backstory. Actually, this was in the second period. And I was like, oh my God, I was this stupid to myself, thinking like I could just do it in a second period. Also, this is going to be one of those times where it's like a raw, unedited footage. So there you go. And we have Bonino up on the ground, so yeah. So the number one thing that you take away from this is that this is like one of the best, I think, one of the best series I've ever done. Personally, because of the simple fact that it's like one of the best series. Like, because I'm going for 6 seasons. Quebec Nordiques went for 2. However, I wouldn't really count season 1 because, okay, here's the thing. I did film. If you guys didn't know this, you would have to watch the old, like, watch some of those videos. So here's the idea. Here's the thing. I did film game one. Wait, hold on. I filmed the last couple of games. Then I filmed the off season. Then I filmed game of like a preseason and game one of season two. All of it I deleted. And that's why when you go and look at the footage, it just seems off. Like how does this like work? And for Colorado, I decided to do a season one just because of the simple fact that I was like, really? And yeah, um, um, yeah, that's what I thought in my head. Like, wow, I did something that I could never be able to like think about, like like feel inside. So, and I was like really happy. I was like, to me, I was honestly truly happy, and that's how I'm feeling now, and that's how I'm always gonna feel. So there's actually some news I'm gonna uncover for anybody who's been watching the channel. Like, I understand, like, some of the most important series on the channel, like, I've stated this so many times. Um, I have done currently 4 franchises over the course of NHL 19. Or Deeks, we won a Stanley Cup. Rockies, we won a Stanley Cup. Aces, we won the Calder Cup. That if that's what's it called. And then for the London Monarchs, um, we're we already won a Stanley Cup in season one. Now it's time to win a Stanley Cup in season two. So yeah, I mean, come on. Yeah, and I mean, yes, so it just feels so real and interesting how a lot of people were like, okay, it's gonna be fun. I didn't even think about the series like coming into fruition. This series is actually pretty insane. And that was a good hit right there. So if I'm ever gonna continue this series into like a season 6, because my goal is to win as like 6 Stanley Cups in a row, which would make it, if you look into the Stanley Cup history, that should tell you something. If you look at every single Stanley Cup winner from, I think, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the Montreal Canadiens were at the top of the NHL. They were the kings of the NHL during the 20th century. But now in the 21st century, of course, it's been a mixed bag. 2000s were mostly dominated by the Eastern Conference, while the Western Conference has had its own shares. Um, But in the 2010s, the Chicago Blackhawks dominated the decade along with the Boston Bruins. Yeah, I had to say that. I had to say the Chicago Blackhawks. Yeah. So now, in this game, I want a chance to win 6 Stanley Cups in a row. Now, if I'm ever gonna do like a series where I'm gonna win this many Stanley Cups in a row, first off, I need to know how, like, because I'm learning about the NHL like game. I know it's unrealistic to like win 82 games in a row in a singular season. I mean, I want to try, and to see we're gonna do it right here. And I was like, okay, go. And if you understand like that beautiful goal by Shaw, he's doing really well. Like, he's actually a pretty good goal, like a pretty good guy. So if I'm ever gonna start a new expansion franchise, the way I would do it is that I will obviously do the expansion franchise, of course. Then I would do the regular draft. Now for the draft, it would kind of be like a real draft, like an expansion draft build in a sense, as in we're going to completely wipe out, like completely clean out any players that we, as the team, as the franchise, would want. For example, if, okay, and I'm going to say this, if and only if I do like a team, like here's the thing, alright? And that was a pretty bad goal on his end, like how he let in the goal. Here's the thing. On my part, like I said, if I'm ever gonna do another franchise, another game, because this would be the last franchise, and I'm gonna do something about NHL 19. The thing is that I will do this. Here's the one thing. First off, I will record the creative team, and I will basically talk it through. So, like a raw footage with some edits. Then I will do the expansion. No, expansion draft. Then I will do the entry draft, and I will make some off-season moves. Now, here's the thing about the off-season moves. I do not want to start off with every single like player that I got from the expansion draft, because let's be real. I want to build up the team in the correct way that I would do it. Okay? But here is the plan. I want to have as many players as I possibly like. I want the team to be as bad as possible. And I know what you may be thinking. How is that even realistic to do? You should be good in your first season. You have to think about this for a moment. Look at the Quebec Nordiques for the first season. I didn't tell this. We had a losing season. And I was able to get like I had Thornton and Bergeron on the same team, no less. And I don't know how that I pulled that off, but it was a good like a good pairing. Then Colorado Rockies. I traded for Thornton. All right, so I got Shara, and We won that game, by the way. Predator. So anyway, for Rockies, I have got. Okay, now listen to this. I have got Shara Thornton on the same team at one point, along with Connor McDavid. Now, the thing is that Thornton and Connor McDavid, I felt like that was not good pairing for the first and second lines. And I think Thornton at one point was a second liner or even a third liner because our defensemen were really good. We had Giordano and Chara at one point. Charo at one point. So I decided to ship out Thornton, which kind of sounds really stupid, but I felt like because Connor McDavid is obviously the goat of hockey, in this generation of hockey. Even though he's on the Oilers, I'm not gonna comment any further. He's like I traded for him and it worked. Then when I shipped out Thornton, I decided to get a left wing Landis Con. I'm of the Colorado Avalanche, which if you didn't realize, kind of sounds absurd because we created the Battle of Colorado in a way. So I decided, you know what? Okay, we're gonna trade for him. So then, once we made the playoffs, everything, we won the Stanley Cup. I decided, let's go to the Burnaby Aces. Then I did some live streams. And then, if you saw the second to last live stream, okay, we made it, and I'm gonna tell this. I'm gonna detail this. So we won the last game. We had to have, I think, the law of a rocket to lose or have an OT loss. And we made it in barely. So that was kind of nice. So here's how I would detail the playoffs. We had a 3-0 sweep. Then we had a 3-0 comeback. Then we had a 3-1 comeback stop by us. Then we had in the final episode, we had a 3-0 comeback. So two 3-0 comebacks, and that was insane. I didn't even think about having two 3-0 comebacks. Imagine I don't even want to imagine it though. Yeah. I can't even imagine how we did that in the Burnaby Aces. Thank God. And thank God I did that, because I managed to prove myself that I can actually do that. We're currently taking on the St. Louis Blues, the team I hate that defeated us, the Bruins, in the Stanley Cup Finals. Thing is that if you're a Dallas Stars fan, I don't know how I don't know how you would support the Blues. So even if I feel bad for you winning and losing in the Stanley Cup Finals. The thing is, I've never been able to fathom on how I truly, and I'm gonna say this with a heart, I hate the Tampa Bay Lightning. But most importantly, I hate how the Bruins have not managed to defeat them in the playoffs ever since we made that championship run and won the Stanley Cup back in 2011 when we, the Bruins, faced off against the Canucks, which should tell you in your brain how stupid the Bruins are against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now, I know what you may be thinking, like, Raul, the Bruins have obviously defeated the Tampa Bay Lightning. Yeah, but I'm talking about modern era. Not like back in the 2000s, because the Tampa Bay Lightning were obviously a pretty new team in like the late 90s. So I'm not going to count them. And the 2000s, even though they were in the same division, which, okay, chill. The thing was about the Tampa Bay Lightning now is that they managed to build up their team so much, so fast, so quick, that they even won the President's Trophy in 2019, only to be lost in the first round to the Columbus Blue Jackets. Not only that, be swept, making them the first ever team to win the first trophy and be swept in the first round. Normally, yeah, they lost it. Normally, apparently, I'm not gonna confirm this, but just by face value, for some reason, the Detroit Red Wings, whenever they win the first trophy, they make it to the play, like they make it to the second, third, or even to Stanley Cup Finals, but they're dominant in that category of winning the President's Trophy, which I have to respect, honestly. And I think they have the most President's Trophy wins, which should tell you something that they are dominant. The thing is, though, is that you have to take this into consideration that the Detroit Red Wings were in the Western Conference. They're now in the Eastern Conference, which makes no sense because they're not near the Atlantic. Yeah, I had to say that. So it just, in my eyes, it doesn't even make any sense on how this team, Detroit, like in Tampa, I understand they managed to have success. They've been having success. They won, started up to 2020 is correct. However, I don't like to Tampa Bay Lightning how the the Bruins handle Lightning. After the Detroit Red Wings, since I've been mentioning a lot about them, I don't like the fact that they were shipped to the Eastern Conference. Here's the reason why. The Eastern Conference is probably one of the most dominant conferences in this age, in today's like era, and it has been over the course of this entire of the entire NHL history because of the Montreal Canadiens. The thing is that when the Detroit Red Wings were shipped off to the the Western Conference, they still managed to be dominant, and they made it to the Western Conference Finals and had a rivalry with the Colorado Avalanche. However, when they were shipped off to the Eastern Conference, they didn't have the same level of success because of the dominant teams like the Bruins, the Lightning, the Canadiens, the Flyers, the Capitals, the Penguins. Yeah, those teams. And they're like, yeah. But if you look at like and when I'm trying to compare to NHL 19 for the Monarchs, their championship success is similar to the days of the St. Louis Blues and Las Vegas Golden Knights when they first started up. It's like it's never happened before. The Las Vegas not Golden Knights managed to win their first Western Conference Finals in their first season, and they lost. Yet in that first season, St. Louis Blues, on the other hand, went 3 straight times to the Western Conference Finals. Well, I don't know if there was a Western Conference Finals. They managed to destroy I guess because they were they were an expansion team. They managed to make it to 3 Stanley Cup Finals. They lost all three. Two of which were two of which they lost to the Canadian. One of which to the Bruins, and that's how dominant the Blues were. If you were to compare that to the Monarchs, and in a video game, I have been managed to build up through the draft. Also, some nice free agent acquisitions that I personally wanted. And then if I want to, I'm gonna fill basically big trades and stuff like that to basically say, you know what, this is how it's gonna be, and we're gonna do. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and what I talked about. Obviously, we're gonna win against the Blues. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Y'all are legends in my book, and as for me, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.